you watch my channel, you know I'm a huge fan of the Galaxy Note 9 from Samsung. In fact, it was my favorite smartphone of 2018. For good reason, of course. It has a Super AMOLED display that was absolutely gorgeous, great performance at a Snapdragon 845, and of course the S Pen. You can't go without saying the S Pen certainly differentiates it from other smartphones out there that don't have that stylus. So I was really happy to see that in the Note 9. Now, when Samsung introduced this recently, this is the Galaxy S10 Plus, I quickly jumped on it. I wanted to see how Samsung would update their flagship line with the S10 Plus, and I'm glad I did because it does have some great features that it brings to the table. You have improved cameras on the back, it has a beautiful Super AMOLED display, but the question I have is it enough of an upgrade over the Galaxy Note 9 or the S9 or S9 Plus? That remains to be seen. Let's find out. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Coming up. Want to see more videos like this? Well, why not hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification icon. This way you'll be alerted every time I post a new video. And don't forget to check me out on my social media, especially Twitter, because that's where I post all the latest updates. You can pick up the Galaxy S10 Plus starting at $999 US. That gets you 8GB of RAM and 128GB of onboard storage. Prices go up from there, and it comes in a variety of colors, including Prism White, Prism Black, Flamingo Pink, Prism Blue, Ceramic White, and Ceramic Black. And your choice of either glass or ceramic in terms of materials used. Before we get to the unboxing, here's a quick rundown of the specs. What you're looking at is a 6.4-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's powered by either the Exynos 9820 octa-core processor or the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855. That's what I have here in the US. You can get it with 8GB of RAM with either 128 or 512GB of onboard storage, or you can opt for the 12GB of RAM with 1TB of onboard storage, which of course all of these are expandable via the microSD card slot, which supports up to 512GB microSD cards. It has a 4100 mAh battery, supports fast charging, fast wireless charging, and has also reverse wireless charging as well. We'll go over that. And of course, it has an IP68 rating, making it dust and waterproof up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. You now get a triple camera setup on the back as well as dual front-facing cameras on the front. We'll talk about that later on in this video. But enough with the specs, let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open it up. Opening the lid, you're greeted by the unit itself, and holding it for the first time feels premium and of course very high-end. And you get a bunch of accessories in the box. You get your fast charge adapter as well as your USB-C cable. You get a USB-A to USB-C adapter as well as AKG tuned earbuds, which actually sound really good. And finally, you get some documentation and warranty information as well. Now, I opted for the Prism Black. Love its glass and metal design, very premium of course. You get your SIM tray on the top, metal buttons on the side, and of course you have your USB-C and 3.5mm audio jack on the bottom. The Bixby button on the side, and dual front-facing cameras, and a triple camera setup on the back. And it comes with a pre-applied screen protector, which after a day of use I actually took off, so that's just my preference. I don't like screen protectors. Now, because I pre-ordered my unit from Samsung, I also got a free pair of Galaxy Buds. That's a $150 value, so that's pretty good. Now, they sent me the white ones, of course, and these have extra ear tips as well. And you also get the charging cradle. Now, this uses USB-C, which is great. I have a ton of USB-C cables around, and that's great. I love that. Now, the earbuds themselves have a very nice look to them. They have good comfort. I will do a separate video on them and compare them to my Apple AirPods. So that should be an interesting video for sure. Now, before we get to the display, I want to thank today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by LVL Go, your one-stop shop for Windows 10 professional OEM keys, Microsoft Office keys, Steam CD keys, mini games, and so much more. And they all come in at a fantastic price. And I have some great news, a special 21% discount code just for my viewers for Microsoft Office and Microsoft Windows 10 professional OEM keys. Okay, so check this out. Microsoft Office, $31.50 with my 21% discount code, $24.89. That's a steal. Need Microsoft Office? No problem. $57.64 becomes $45.54 after my 21% discount code. That's incredible. Want the 2016 Microsoft Office? It's a little bit cheaper. $39.89 becomes $35.90. I have a special 10% discount code for that, and that's another great savings right there. Ordering is easy and safe. Head on over to lvlgo.com for these great savings, and remember to use my discount codes and tell them Andrew sent you. But without a doubt, the star of this show has to be its gorgeous 6.4-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It is absolutely stunning with a resolution of 3040 by 1440. That's a 19:9 aspect ratio, 526 pixels per inch, and is covered in Gorilla Glass 6. It also has an 88.9% screen-to-body ratio, and that's thanks to that new Infinity O display. The cutouts for the cameras make it virtually bezel-less. The 19:9 aspect ratio makes it easy to handle in one hand. And of course, this being the AMOLED display, you're looking at really super deep blacks, very vibrant punchy colors, really an excellent AMOLED display once again from Samsung. And it has HDR10 Plus support, making this a great media consumption device. And according to Samsung, this has 40% less blue light, which is better for your eyes. And it's a super bright display where Samsung claims up to 1200 nits in maximum brightness on auto mode. That's actually incredible. What this means, this is a very readable display in direct sunlight. That's great. Bottom line is, this is the premier display on any smartphone right now here in early 2019. And when it comes to the user interface, it's running Android Pie with Samsung's One UI. It's characterized by its rounded menus and buttons, focus on single-handed use, and a colorful iconography. This, of course, is better than past iterations when they had that really heavy touch whiz and the, of course, Samsung UX from previous generations. This is much better. Okay, so here's something new. Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has an in-screen ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which I thought worked okay, not great, not the fastest I've ever seen, but it seems to be secure, and it does register your finger pretty much every time as long as you hit it correctly. It's okay at best. Now, Samsung did push out an update since the time I unboxed it, and there is a little bit of an improvement in that ultrasonic fingerprint reader, so that's good news on that front. And you also get Face Unlock. Although there's no iris scanning this time around, it may be a little bit less secure than past iterations, so that's pretty interesting, but it does work pretty fast nonetheless. When it comes to performance, you won't be disappointed. The Snapdragon 855 did really well, especially on the N227 benchmark that I ran. As you can see, the score was very high, as well as the Geekbench 4 test. Now, of course, these are synthetic benchmarks. Real-world usage, you won't notice any lag whatsoever. Everything's very fast, snappy, and fluid. Gaming on this was a pleasure. And of course, thanks to that 8 GB of RAM on my unit, there was no issues with multitasking whatsoever. When it comes to battery life, the Galaxy S10 Plus doesn't disappoint. As you can see, it did well on the web surfing test, the movie playback test, and when it was under heavy load, it also did well. And that's because it has a pretty robust 4100 mAh battery, which gives you pretty good endurance. And as you can see, when you compare it to other flagships in this category, it certainly did very well. Battery life is definitely a strong suit on the Galaxy S10 Plus, that's for sure. But if you do need to plug in, it does support fast charging. It'll give you 42% in 30 minutes and a full charge an hour and 33 minutes. That's actually pretty good. And it supports wireless power share, which allows you to charge other devices such as other smartphones which support wireless charging, as well as your Galaxy earbuds or say something like your Galaxy Watch. It's actually pretty good, and it comes in handy every now and then, although not the fastest in the world, that's for sure. And of course, there's wireless charging that you can do with this as well. It's 15-watt wireless charging, and it worked as you'd expect pretty well. Now this time around, Samsung decided to go with a triple camera setup on the back. You get a 12 megapixel wide angle lens. That's the equivalent of say a 26mm lens. You get another 12 megapixel, this time a telephoto lens. That's the equivalent of a 52mm lens. And finally, you get a 16 megapixel ultra wide lens. That's the equivalent of a 12mm lens. And actually they all worked really well. I'm happy with the output that this does produce. Now, say what you want about Samsung, I think these images are really good. Now, they are a bit saturated, but that's their MO. That's what they've been known to do. And if you're into that Instagram look, you're going to love the cameras on the S10 Plus. Now, to give you some perspective, here it is against the Nokia 9 PureView, which I just reviewed, and you can see the Nokia 9 PureView on the left has more true-to-life colors, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus on the right has more saturated colors, much more vibrant colors, and as you can see, it's a matter of personal preference. I actually like them both. Again, if you like that Instagram look, you're going to love this smartphone. Now, to demonstrate low light performance, these photos were taken in almost pitch black, really dark, and as you can see, it really lit it up, and actually not the worst I've ever seen. So it's really dark out, so keep that in mind, but it was able to take some pretty interesting photos, to say the least. And these shots were taken at sunset as the sun already went down, and you can see really beautiful photos in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as you can see, this is the telephoto lens at work here, and then you can see the wide angle lens here, and then the ultra wide angle lens here. I like the ability to shoot with a really ultra wide angle lens, getting a lot in the shot. That's pretty good. And I thought the bokeh or the blurred background effect was actually pretty good. So this is the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, 4K UHD, 60 frames per second, and pretty sharp, pretty smooth, good stabilization in terms of image, so it's OIS, and very happy with it actually. And here I am walking. You can see very stable video, much better than the Nokia 9 PureView. 4K video, UHD, HDR at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Very impressive. Good low light performance so far. Now you do get dual front-facing cameras on the S10 Plus, and I have to say they're actually pretty good. You get a 10 megapixel wide-angle lens, which is equivalent of a 26mm lens, and you also get an 8 megapixel wide-angle lens that's equivalent of a 22mm lens, and they come together to give you really good depth of field, really good portrait mode, and overall really good selfie cam. Okay, so this is the front-facing camera on the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. We got dual cameras on the Plus version, as you know. I want to know what you think about it in the comment section below. I think it's actually pretty good. Obviously, the cameras are very good on the S10 Plus, but we'd expect nothing less from this premium flagship. Again, I want to know what you think. Let me know. The S10 Plus sports stereo speakers, one in the earpiece and one on the bottom. The sound is actually really good, gets loud. Let's give it a listen. And I love the fact this also has a headphone jack as well. Hope that continues in the future. Bixby's still here, and there is a dedicated Bixby button, but good news is that they do allow you to remap it to something else, except it can't be another assistant like the Google Assistant, which is a little bit unfortunate, but at least you can put something other than Bixby on it, which I think is not very good. So to wrap things up, can I recommend the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus? And the answer is, without a question, this might be one of the closest things you can get to a perfect smartphone. And I am not kidding. You got that stunning, bright, dynamic AMOLED display. It's absolutely gorgeous. That gorgeous Infinity O design. Good low light performance out of the rear cameras, really good charging options when it comes to the smartphone, including that reverse wireless charging, solid battery life, great performance at a Snapdragon 855, and of course it has that IP68 rating, making this very durable. Now when it comes to the bad things about it, well, the fingerprint reader can be a bit frustrating at times, although the update did improve things somewhat. Low light selfies were so-so, and of course the price tag. This can get very expensive, and I don't know if you need to upgrade if you're coming from a newer phone such as the Galaxy Note 9 or the S9 or S9 Plus. That's something you need to decide. But without a doubt, this is the premier flagship smartphone here in early 2019. I'm going to give it a score of 94%, making the Galaxy S10 Plus worth your money. So what do you think about the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus? I really like it. It's certainly a high-end flagship. There's no doubt about it. Gorgeous Super AMOLED display, the triple camera setup on the back, everything you'd want in a flagship. It's got premium build quality in terms of the glass and metal design. There's really no deal breakers on this except for the price. It is an expensive phone, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way around it. More than $1,000 really when you think about the S10 Plus, and that to me is a lot. Now the question is there enough of an upgrade here over the S9 or the S9 Plus or even the Galaxy Note 9 to warrant that price tag? And the question is, do you really need an upgrade with this if you already have those smartphones? And the answer is I don't think you do need to upgrade to this if you have the Galaxy Note 9. I would wait till the Note 10, especially if you like to use the S Pen. But this really is a great smartphone. If you're coming from any of the older phones, if you want to switch from an iPhone, this is definitely one of the best out there, if not the best, when it comes to the Android offering. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. It's a great all-around phone. It may not be the best in everything except for the display, by the way, which is absolutely gorgeous. But really, as far as the cameras are concerned, it's very good. Would I say it's the best I've ever seen? Probably not. I might give that to either the Pixel 3 XL or of course to the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. This comes in very close though. This is very good and I have no hesitation recommending it unless you really are coming from those newer phones from Samsung, because I don't know if this price tag justifies that upgrade. But that's a decision you're going to have to make. But again, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.